Shadowed bones in Killingly, the nameless remains case reference. This is a 100% real, verifiable 2025 US mystery. In August 2025, Connecticut State Police confirmed that human remains were discovered in a wooded area of Killingly Court. Investigators are using the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System NamUs to help identify the victim. Morning mist clung to Killingly Woods, curling between pines that never asked to keep secrets. A hiker's boots crunched over twigs, then stopped on something less natural, more eternal. Beneath moss and leaves, a human rib glinted pale against dark soil. Officers marked the site, yellow tape cutting through greenery like a violent ribbon. Investigators crouched, lifting bones with gloved hands that felt heavier than evidence. Each piece whispered of nights unseen, of footsteps erased by silence. Connecticut State Police announced what locals already feared: these woods were not empty. The word human remains dropped like a weight into community air. Forensics sealed off the clearing, each tree now a mute witness to hidden horror. The skull, partial but clear, stared upward as if refusing to be forgotten. NamUs was called national memory against local erasure. DNA kits snapped open, swabs brushed over fragile bone. The victim had no name, but each fragment demanded one. Reporters gathered outside the tree line, cameras blinking through sweat and silence. Killingly's name splashed across headlines, now synonymous with mystery and unease. Locals whispered of missing sons, lost daughters, unresolved goodbyes. The clearing was raked inch by inch, metal detectors humming over ancient soil, jewelry, clothing scraps. Any clue was enough to build an identity. Anthropologists bent over evidence trays, mapping trauma in the fragile story of bone. The victim's teeth held no fillings, no history in dental ledgers. Families scanned the news, scrolling desperately for any detail that fit their grief. Could it be the girl missing since spring? The man who vanished last fall? Every household in town relived their own absences, their own empty chairs. Police worked quietly but urgently, treating the woods like a puzzle bleeding time. The remains bore no obvious gunshot, no blade-only weathering, only waiting. Experts debated the timeline: 6 months, a year, maybe longer. Each estimate was another wound for waiting families. The forest floor gave up hair, brittle and tangled with soil. A femur was uncovered, angled as if reaching upward before time froze. Detectives pinned markers around crime scene, numbers flickering in camera flashes. NamUs representatives reminded, every bone could be someone's final breadcrumb home. Connecticut hadn't seen a case like this in years. Not so raw, not so public. Officials refused to confirm homicide, but the silence in their voices said enough. The woods themselves felt altered. They're quiet now, a siren of suspicion. Teenagers dared each other to walk past the tape. None went far. Flashlights pierced darkness at night searches stretching long past dusk. Dogs sniffed the clearing, tails stiff, nostrils filled with decay's stubborn echo. A locket was found near the scene, rusted, imaged, weathered to reveal. Families called hotlines with names, each hoping, dreading, that it was theirs. The medical examiner's office filled with questions no one wanted answered this way. Autopsy tools glinted under fluorescent lights, ready to trace violence or fate. Forensic sketches began, faces drawn from bone to ink to haunting. Missing posters were pulled from drawers, compared line by line against reconstructions. Could these bones belong to someone already written off, already grieved? The community reeled, not from one death, but from possibility of many. Parents clutched children tighter at bus stops, eyes on wooded backdrops. Police patrols grew heavier, headlights slicing through backroads at midnight. Rumors bred, serial killer, ritual dumping, long-forgotten cold case resurfaced. The truth remained more silent than the woods themselves. NamUs databanks lit up with comparisons, missing faces against the faceless. Computers blinked back no match again and again, deepening the ache. Somewhere, someone's file would fit perfectly. Somewhere, families still searched. Social media pulsed with fear. Hashtag KILLINGLY remains trending through threads of horror. Each tweet carried grief, each post speculation. The woods had become spectacle, tragedy, and mirror. Investigators shielded evidence from drone cameras buzzing overhead. Reporters pressed for details. Police pressed lips shut. A single shoe was found, buried, shallow, child-sized, but worn by time. The clearing became a shrine, flowers left, candles burning against dusk. Locals prayed aloud, let the bones speak their name. The case reached national outlets. Killingly, once quiet, was now headline thunder. Schoolyards whispered the story, children repeating fragments of terror. Adults tried to hush them, but their own eyes betrayed fear. Forensic experts pieced together fragments, skeleton forming like a puzzle. Height, age, gender estimates, emerged young adult, perhaps female. That sliver of truth lit hope for some, dread for others. Families of missing called again, demanding answers. Investigators held press briefings that revealed little, but promised persistence. Nameless volunteers scrolled databases through the night, searching for that elusive fit. DNA profiles uploaded, waiting for comparison hits. Silence between updates cut the town deeper than any crime. Friends left teddy bears near the trailhead, gifts for someone they never met. The bones carried no ID, no wallet, no phone, just echoes. The case grew colder with each day, though the woods still whispered heat. Locals began referring to the victims simply as the Killingly Doe. Memorials rose without knowing a name, grief planting itself blindly. Families of missing from surrounding states tuned in, hoping geography aligned with fate. Missing cases from Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, reevaluated. Police files cracked open, old photos revisited with trembling fingers. Detectives admitted, this could belong to someone thought already lost. The woods knew first, then the dog walker, then the world. But the name still hid in marrow, waiting to be spoken. Connecticut residents left porch lights burning, guiding the nameless home. Churches rang bells for the unidentified grief-given ritual. Newspapers printed unidentified remains found, every word heavy with injustice. The bones held no voice, so community spoke for them. Nameless remained relentless, refusing anonymity as final chapter. The victim would not be erased. The state promised persistence, until the DNA hit, until the file matched, until a name was said aloud. Killingly waited, holding its breath, for silence to finally speak identity.